Yeah. Hmm. So we're talking about the grandeur, what the importance of nature to be in grand and beautiful manner. It's already she's complete. She's alive and she provides energy to each and everyone. It's our responsibility how to maintain her and to give protection to her. As a important facet, education and correct information sharing among all level is most important. Understand it's very true that understanding or loving nature does not need education. But yes, educated person they contribute it in a very better way, or they manage whole of the things in a better. That's why education is most important. We have yes from all the facets, schools, uh, from the school, college level, and the forest management level. So my first question to ma'am, uh, Pallavi ma'am.
Okay.
So okay, being from a very grassroots level of the education because school is the most important factor. So do you find there is very difference between the past, present, and future of the environmental education at the school and plus two level? Because when you talk about uh, educating people about the nature, then the most important factors comes how they have been taught in the school level, how they have been taught at their society level. So what you find, do our education system is very equipped to teach our students, to teach um, our children the value of nature or value of the environment.
Uh, Good evening, everybody. See, actually, children are born scientists. They love nature. They love the beautiful flowers, wonderful, colorful birds, animals, all the insects, and all the life forms that are present surrounding us. Now, whenever a child goes outside, children always like outdoor activities. So they love nature. They have an inclination towards nature that is from their birth, that is innate quality. And even educational psychology says that the children who are very close to nature, they develop their cognitive abilities. That means the creativity increases, the innovativeness increases if a child is very close to nature. And those children who all are born and brought up in an environment which is not close to nature, their thinking, their ability to perform, these things differ. Even science has proved that nature has a direct impact on the uh, abilities of the children. That means it directly controls the development of the brain of the students. That means we can say environment or nature is directly proportional with the development of the brain of the students. Now, as you are talking about the school level, we are dealing with the students, those who enter into the school at the age of 2.5 and they leave the school at the age of 16 or 17, you can say. So that is the prime time where we can inculcate the values of the nature and the environment among these students. We know that the life forms are present surrounding us and they impact on our brains. Now, if which determines the behavior of the children, and the one most important thing which is required for today's children is the attention capacity or the attention span, which they lack. They do not have attention span. They need a mobile or a computer or some program in television, otherwise they cannot observe nature and sit silently for hours together. That is a drawback. And another thing is today's children, they do not have the ability to adapt with the environment. So these are the two things which usually they learn from nature directly. By observing nature, creativity increases, brain develops, innovativeness increases, attention span increases, and they love nature. Automatically a love for nature develops. That is there in the schools.
Okay.
Now,
So these are the things when we find in a student when they come closer to a nature.
yes.
So far the present education system is concerned, do you find that education is linking the student with the nature or it's distracting the student from the nature, because we are moving in a mobile world or digital world. So is the digitalization is having an impact on natural studies or natural involvement of the students with their surrounding?
Yes, definitely. Because students are reading since class 1, they are reading about environmental education. Now, if I talk about environmental education, in lower classes, it is like drawings, pictures, these coloring the birds, animals, and all. And when we are going to higher classes, it is related to the preservation of nature and natural resources. So they are reading certain things. And in schools, at present, if you will ask the present scenario, we have nature club or eco club in our school where many of the students are enrolled, and we involve the students in various activities like we give them assignments related to the life forms species surrounding them. We give them different type, they perform, they enact drama skit, they write various poems, drawing competition, collage competition, debate competition. These are the things they do participate in schools. These are the things which creates an awareness regarding the nature and the natural things which are present surrounding them. So they have these things in their syllabus, but directly there is no syllabus which is related to wildlife conservation. They are reading environmental education where they are reading, they are not doing anything practically.
Hmm.
Even if you ask me from my background, I'll say with 20 years in the educational field, there are students here at Bhubaneswar from all the schools. They cannot identify the basic species. That means those species which are present surrounding them. So we need to inculcate the value system in the schools. That is lacking. They are reading environmental education, they are getting marks, percentages, but they do not have that attitude to do something good for nature. They don't know that if this animal will die, what will be the impact on earth. They do not know what is the role of the top carnivore or what is the role of the herbivore in the natural system, how the eco balance will be maintained, how we need to coexist with the species that are present in the nature. They should know how to respect the nature. This is what is lacking in the present education scenario. Students are not respecting nature where they live. So they should respect the nature. Unless they care about others, nature will not allow them to survive. So that is the need of the hour. We need to teach them directly specific topic that you love nature, nature will love you.
That's a very fine message. You love nature and nature will love you. Anjan sir, uh, because you are involved with the higher education. Ma'am is saying there are many lacunas are there, lacking are there. The students are not being so close to nature. They don't feel the importance of the nature, or they're not connected to nature. You find that these students, when they enter into a school, into a college level, into university level, on awards, so is it really getting difficult for environmental scientist or a professor to inoculate the values into the college students, because already they have been made in such a fashion that they are not caring about the nature. So what's the role of a teacher is coming at that point? Are you facing any problem like that?
Uh, well, I have a couple of dimensions to narrate the issue what you have raised now. Now, as long as I have been a research scientist, I was looking from a different perspective. But after I have joined the university, my way of looking into these crucial issues have actually changed, because now I am going to, I have been realizing the ground reality when I'm in the university, and then I'm trying to see how students who get enrolled into university after completion of undergraduation, at what level they are informed, how well read they are, and what actually uh, uh, ways and means we have to carry forward. I mean, to ensure that the student gets attached not only with the nature but also thinks in that line. Now, the thing is, it is not the curriculum per se that will solve the problem, or it is not curriculum only that can actually inculcate the interest. It also depends on individual students. Now, any Indian university, for that matter, when you see the course curriculum is designed, definitely the group of teachers who have designed the course, they try to make a point that the student who gets enrolled, when they pass out of the department, they have made themselves, in a way, motivated enough to carry out different activities with respect to research, with respect to the livelihood support system. I mean, nature is not only about conservation and or preservation, what earlier speaker was talking about. We also have to think about how they will, because now they are no more school students, now they are pass outs from university, so they have to look for the reality of life. So that way they get more reorganized. Now, the third aspect is, yes, there are, it cannot be, I cannot say it's just a cakewalk for a university professor to, make the student develop interest into the nature or the environment or the wildlife studies. It takes a lot. It takes a lot, and it's altogether challenging, because the present generation, what generally get admission is somehow, uh, uh, in a bottom up approach from school education. If you see, by the time they come to university, they have already made up their mind that how we can get a better job once we complete our post graduation studies. Now that becomes the turning point for a professor in a university, as to make them convince, make them understand that you can also explore your livelihood, you can also explore your job opportunities
Yes.
side by side by conserving nature, by contributing yourself, I mean contributing for the natural resource conservation and environmental protection. So that is the challenge we have, but then we strive to make sure that at least few students in every batch, few students come out and they take up the research works in environmental studies and in natural resource management and in wildlife ecology, what you have been talking about.
That is very nice point that uh, a student, they have not been well informed, or they not been so well interested about nature in the school level, but again they are coming into college, and college is the most crucial point. A teacher plays a major role. They have to uh, make the students inclined towards the nature, and what the benefit we get from related from the professional perspective, related from a personal perspective. That's a role of a teacher is a professor is coming into account. Ajit sir, so mm, yeah, Ajit sir, you have been
Yes,
into
we.
this management sector, forest management for last 30 years.
Yeah.
You must be coming in contact with variety of people, various people. Somebody having very fine education background, somebody may not be having very fine education background. Here we are talking about the value systems, how a person should be closer to, more, they feel themselves related to nature, so that they can give their best contribution. So what's
Yeah.
your experience? Do you find education and research are really the parameters, or the defining parameters, only defining parameters that one can be inclined towards the nature, or anything else? And again, how you find these days researchers, those who are coming into forest management or forest conservation sectors, are they well informed, are they well inclined, or what you find?
Thank you, Gayatri. First of all, I should thank you that you have given me such a very good opportunity to be with the people, with your all the people of nature and wildlife lovers. Um, the way you have chosen the subject, it is very wonderful and wonderfully made, because education and research. Those two are the most important words of this current world scenario. Okay, you have put it for the environment thing, and you have also invited beautiful guests like Pallavi for education and Dr. Pusti for research. That's a wonderful combination, I say. And through these discussion, I say, first of all, if I see the discussion about the education, Madam Pallavi told ki very important thing she told. Very important. What I understand, uh, she told that a cognitive process of a student, small child, the cognitive process, it is affected. It is, you may say, what it is molded, or it is created, or it come to a particular level through the connection to the nature. It's very important in a child. And you just imagine what is the present scenario in the nature. As a wildlife activist, a researcher, Gayatri, you must be knowing, understanding the whole situation. What is the state of nature now outside our house, outside our four walls? And you just imagine what would be the effect on the small child in the cognitive process making. That is the wonder of things to be discussed through our self interceptions. The nature, you will say, the nature is never perfect or good, or at the good state. It is the worst state, you can say. It is all proved in entire research gallery from Harvard to Barampur University or Calicut University. It is proved that the nature is not at its best stage. So, what would be the cognitive process going on in the millions of children, millions of children in the universe? That is to think. Second thing, as
Uh,
Dr. Prusti told, this entire research thing about the conservation and all this thing, it gets job oriented. Okay, so the whole difference is that a child knows if there is not a better nature, good nature, or nature is not brilliant for his future, then it is a doomsday coming for him. But still, the child never raise his voice. It is because we are not in a perfect education system. I believe what is a nature education. Entire other education is very different. You can say physics, chemistry, everything, all. It is different. But if you come to nature education, as your coin word is education, I tell you, the nature education, if Madam Pallavi tomorrow can gather 5 children to write a letter to the Prime Minister that you just stop all these things, then I will say these 5 students are really educated on nature, conservation, and all. And similarly, if there anybody, he may be an engineer to IT sector, to AI or artificial intelligence engineer, to anybody in the any citizen of the India, or any citizen, any person in the world, in every sphere of the life, if he understand, if or she understand, yes, we have to stop our everything just to see whether nature is conserved for the future generation or not. Because once it is conservation, it is not for me. Don't think it is for us. It is for the children to come, because it is the future for 50 years, 100 years. We are thinking it is a conservation, it is nothing. When we are thinking of any kind of nature and wildlife conservation, it is for the child. It is for a child. You see, in European nation, in Sweden, in other US, in Australia, everywhere the small children, very LKG, UKG, from there they are writing letters now to their leaders. Stop, just four letter. You tell to write stop, just that's all, because it is for them. We are all worrying here, isn't it? So the entire thing of education and research, we education, we have to gather people. It is nothing else. You gather people, gather. If you gather 100 people, millions people, billions people, it is the best education, I say, for nature conservation. And the researcher, you lead them, the person who are gathering there, you lead them to get your purpose fulfilled. I understand that much in the context of nature conservation. Thank you.
That means everyone should feel themselves involved with the nature.
Of course,
It can.
if it is my life, it is my life concern, I should be involved. How can I not be involved? If nature is there, my life is there. And we are saying our life is connected to the nature. Then how can I remain aloof and I will put these things on some researcher and wildlife activists and forest department कि you आप समझो यार, हम नहीं समझाना है. अरे, it is the fundamental duty in our Indian constitution. If you go through the fundamental duty of a citizen in the seventh section of the fundamental duties, it is clearly written a citizen has to, it is a duty, Moriko Kartabya, has to. The thing is that if I am saying I am a citizen, if I am saying I'm a citizen of India, it is my fundamental duty to see the conservation, protection, and everything of the wildlife and nature. You read through the constitution. Then how can I say, ki, no, some people only take care of it and we will see, we will enjoy ourselves? It's not that.
Okay. That means if we are saying ourselves as educated, we have many opportunities of job and everything. It's our first duty to safeguard the nature and feel ourselves as a part of nature. At this present contest what we discussing that nowadays the education system is decreasing. Moreover, they're focusing on other part of the study, but education system itself is decreasing its valuation. This sir, this one point is coming into mind. Right now, nowadays the man-animal conflict situations are increasing tremendously, and at maybe you can say at the peak of it. Can you relate the reluctance in our part or the mm, separation of any individual from the nature that we're discussing? That is a major cause that we are having a conflict with nature. We could not understand nature and we're increasing the conflict, the rise in the man animal conflict situations. Can you contribute or can we
Yeah,
responsible
yes, sure.
education system into that point?
No, yeah, it is not an education, it is a very common sense. I will tell you, it is a common sense. It doesn't require education. Even in the field, in the forest fields, villages where the millions of poor tribal people are there, they deprived of educations. They are also in the whole dilemma whether they should go for the protection of the wild animal or not. There's a dilemma in their mind. Of the education, I will just ask one simple question. When we see one small rat or a spider or a you can say lizard in our own four-wall house, what we do in a four-walled space, what we make and what we say it is our home, and in that home we find immediately one rat. There's a typically and there is a suppose spider, then we immediately,
Mardo,
yeah, ମାରିଦବା ହାତ ଆଗ
Mardo काम
ଖୋଜିବ କୋଉଠି
खत्म
ବାଡି
करो.
ଅଛି ଚପଲ ଅଛି କଣ ଅଛି ବାଡେଇ ଦିଅ ଆଗ.
Speak in Hindi.
because because it is my space, it is my space, isn't it? You just imagine we in government we through the constitution, we through the enactment provided sanctuaries, national parks, the space for the animals. But still we are there. We humans are there. You see in the national parks, in the reserve forests, in the sanctuaries, a lot of people are residing there. And we have made space for the wild animals. Then they own space. So why they will come to our space? If we will not provide them the space, they will come to our space. It's very simple logic. There you will say, why you came to my village, I will go to your village, but you don't come to my village. It is not a logic. But nature mother has a lot of children. I tell you, human beings are just 1 millionth. Million and million children are there with the nature mother, and human beings are just one. So how can you say it is human man animal conflict? This is not at all a conflict. You are not providing him space. Whatever space you have provided through enactments, that also you are intervening in the name of rights, all these things. How it is possible? One wild animal need to be wild in a wilder environment. It is not a domesticated animal. You want to say it is domestic, let it be domesticated. If you want to put a wildlife in a wilder environment, it will be wilder if human footprints will be zero. Simple thing. You cannot say Bhubaneswar will be, and if in Bhubaneswar, if you leave an elephant, it will behave like a domestic. It cannot be wild because it is the human habitation. He will be the elephant will be sized to behave like a dog. So you have to provide an wilder area, wilder environment for the animals to behave in their natural form of the wilderness. Why? It is again a very big question. It is with the all policymakers. It is all with in the mind of the all bureaucrats. It is in the mind of all governance and ministers and cabinet minister. They why we will provide such wild area without human beings to wild animals? What is the requirement? Arey yaar, you just go through this corona and all. We have learned so many epidemics have come because of this wilderness, and when human being and wild animal they come contact, it is coming, but we know the entire thing, still we are asking why we will give the space, entire space for a wild animal. No, we cannot give. We have right, we will go. Yeah, in some forest right act workshop, it was going international national level workshop, and they were enjoying कि अरे फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट रे हमको गोटे अधिकार मिलिला जंगल भीतर को आमे जिबा
Up, speak in Hindi either because people are
ओके ओके
listening
पीपल आर
outside
देयर
of
आल्सो
Odisha too.
ओके तो एक फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट की वर्कशॉप चल रहा था वो नेशनल लेवल की वर्कशॉप उसमें जो आदिवासी लोग हैं उन्होंने आए थे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स उन्होंने बोले कि ये फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट इज हमारे लिए तो जिंदगी ले ला दिया हमारा अधिकार हमको मिल गया मैंने पूछा उनको एक मीटिंग हो रहा था उनको बोला यो उन्होंने बोला 25 टाइप्स ऑफ रूट्स यू नो ना रूट root tuber crops in the forest floor there are tuber crops they were eating that okay they were eating some stems some shrubs some leaves they were collecting they were eating they told कि वो हमने तो हम नहीं खा रहे थे सालों भर हम नहीं जा रहे थे हम जब जाते थे फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट हमको पकड़ के अरेस्ट कर लेता था और हमको ये कर देता था कोर्ट भेज देता था लेकिन हमको अभी ये फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट हमको ये खाने के लिए सब मिल गया हमको हम अभी जंगल जाते हैं ये सब ला के आप खाते हैं तो एवरीबॉडी क्लैप यू अंडरस्टैंड इन द एंटायर वर्कशॉप सबने ताल फिर मैंने पूछा कि भाई साहब जहां इंडिया में फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट एक है जो फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट में एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग, एवरी सिटीजन फैमिली को हम कुछ चावल देते हैं, डाल देते हैं, ये करते हैं, उसमें आज भी अगर आप जो जो चीज जंगल में वाइल्ड एनिमल खाना चाहिए, अगर उसको आप खाने के अधिकार आपको मिल गया, इसमें खुशी होंगे, ये कहाँ जा रहे हैं? इज इट द राइट पाथ वी आर गोइंग? So these are the whole issues what I was to say कि wild animal nature conservation is a mandatory of the life system of human beings. हमको करना है कुछ.
मैंडेटरी करने का है, वेदर वी आर एजुकेटेड और अनएजुकेटेड, वेदर वी आर
Anybody,
इनटू
it
एनी
is a
कोई भी
human life.
स्फीयर में, यस, हम कोई भी स्फीयर में हो, कहीं पर भी हो, कैसे भी हो, बट हमारा फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट प्रायोरिटी है हम अपने चारों तरफ का जो नेचर है, द नेचुरल ब्यूटी है, उसको प्रिजर्व करें, उसको कंजर्व करें और उसको सजा के रखें. दिस द होल थिंग दैट मैसेज can be delivered, should be delivered to each and every citizen of India, not only India, to whole of the world. Anjan sir, uh, here we discuss
Yes.
about education, right? Education is a basic thing that is available to each and everyone. But research is something a notch higher than the education. Research is purely, we can't say purely different thing, but yes, obviously, it enter into such a narrow domain that not everyone is, that's not easily observed by everyone. So, what you find a role of a researcher, or because already you told that the students are not so much interested because of many of the factors are there, they are not so interested in the wildlife research sector. How and what can be done so that they will have an inclination, or, or they will feel interest to enter into this sector, the research in the environmental sector, let it be ecology, let it be wildlife, let it be biodiversity, or any you say. How you can
Yeah.
promote
Uh,
research, or how to motivate the students.
okay. Uh, there are many, issues to be dealt with when we try to make a student a researcher. In education sector, if you look at, I mean, when a student comes to post graduation department, uh, the the course curriculum and the department is ought to provide a foundation, and a foundation need to be built in such a way, because the foundation which is built at the school level is the base, and the foundation, second layer foundation, which has to be built at the university level, that actually makes them to decide whether they can take research as a career. Now, coming to different domains, yes, in as part of the course curriculum itself, there are it's now, a mix of different approaches. It's no more the conventional classroom teaching as used to be earlier. Now we have, as part of the course curriculum, we have, exposure tours to different wilderness areas, to different protected areas. I mean, as long as I have been working in Bharatpur, every, quarterly I used to meet many university students who used to come to the bird sanctuary, and that used to be invariably as part of their course curriculum. So they are being,
Okay.
made expose, I mean, they are given enough exposure to actually a natural area or a protected area, as how is it being managed, or what are the aspects, because seeing is believing. I mean, as part of the natural resource management studies, ecology or environmental studies or wildlife studies, whatever, I mean, you can include any number of things in the course curriculum, and you can make case study presentations as well. Nowadays it is becoming more handy, because you have got many videos, online resource materials, YouTube materials, so that students actually get to have more realization of what is happening on ground. And uh, and when they are actually taken to the ground and to the forest area, they actually get to have, yes, this is what is the scenario, and possibly this is the component what was being taught to us in the classroom. Now maybe As Pallavi madam was talking about the cognitive ability, and as an I mean a researcher in ethology, I can very well
Yes.
relate that when a student goes to a field and sees something in some behavior in nature, immediately he or she tries to correlate that with some of the hypotheses or some of the classical ecological theories what is being taught to them in the classroom. So that is something which is inculcated and which
Absolutely.
is developed.
Hmm. Yes,
One
yes.
thing. Second thing, another dimension is, for example, we talk about the environmental studies or environmental science and something like that. If you see, it is, I mean, students always feel, because let me tell you, there is lot of, you know, understanding or perception they develop within their society. Like I mean, when you interact with a young student and undergraduate student and you ask which course you wish to undertake after your undergraduation, if by chance he or she responds that I would like to study environmental sciences, and if you ask why do you want to study environmental sciences, he or she will say no, no, there is lot of job in industries for environmental researchers.
Yes, that's
Imagine they
absolutely,
have not even
absolutely.
thought beyond that. They have not
Hmm.
been thought beyond that. And now in our classroom lecture we strive to make the students understand that it is not only the industrial job that is the only avenue left after your post graduation. It is multidimensional, multifaceted. You have a mosaic of opportunities. Like one can carry one can think about making research as a career. One can think of going to an industry to solve real world situations by using the basic theoretical experiments they have carried out in the classroom. And one can also go into wildlife research field to contribute, and in fact to complement, I would say, to complement to the initiatives that the forest department do. I mean, they have been carrying out. And I'm sure, I mean, in this connection, I used to say one thing. I mean, many a times when a young student interacts with a forest officer or rather a protected area manager, the interaction would be so a protected area manager always asks, what are you going to do in my sanctuary? You have come here. So they will say that, sir, we will survey this. But let me tell you, it is high time that the students have to make to understand that only survey does not solve any problem. There has to be a clear cut
Absolutely. That's
research
very,
question.
very
There has
clear
to be a,
point. Yes,
yeah, there has to be a clear
yes.
cut research question that leads to strengthen the ongoing efforts by the forest department. And the research findings should provide enough insights to the conventional initiatives that have been carried out from ages together. Because protected area managers also need to be supported through our research findings. If our research findings do not help them in conserving the wilderness area, then there is no fun of carrying out such research. Now, research when students take up in environmental science field, if we cannot solve the real life situation, real life problems, or if we cannot solve some of the problems
Mhm.
faced by industries for containing some sort of pollutant episodes or abandonment of pollutants, then what is the fun of having such research? So, I mean, I wish basic research has to be carried out, but applied research has more scope nowadays. And my
Definitely.
statement, my advice to all the students, maybe there may be many students who may be
Hmm.
watching us. I must say that if you are a genuine researcher, if you are a genuine worker, I would rather say, if you are a genuine worker, there is no dearth of funds, there is no dearth of money to earn your livelihood. So you don't worry that research cannot provide you a livelihood. It can always, because I have been a
Absolutely. That's
researcher. Of course, now I joined the university, but otherwise I have been a researcher. So there is no dearth of provided you have a will and there is interest, genuine interest.
genuine interest, and that's the beautiful message that study in a curriculum, study in a classroom, and going to the field are purely two different dimensions. We find a different world there. What we are reading in a book, it's a completely different thing. So, field level exposure to connect with the field, connect with the nature is again important part of a researcher too. Pallavi ma'am, here we are Pallavi ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Here we are discussing about.
I'm not able to hear you.
You can't hear me?
Yes. Now it's audible. Okay.
Okay, fine. But you are not visible.
Acha.
Okay,
I
ma'am.
don't know.
Okay, ma'am.
Video is
Okay,
on.
ma'am. Yeah, I can hear you, but you can answer. Okay. So
Okay.
here, Anjan sir, he was saying that a research bent of mind should be developed from a school level. So as you are from a school management field, so how do you think to inculcate those values or those how do you address that wildlife research is such an important factor, or it also have a career, if the students can make a career in wildlife sector. So what is the role of मैम आप थोड़ा सा वीडियो को एनाबल कर दो, वीडियो क्लोज बहुत
It's
क्लोज है।
okay. It's
इस मतलब दिख नहीं रहा है।
yes, but it's on.
आई थिंक नहीं नहीं, आप शायद उसको कहीं पर इसने क्लिक कर दिया होगा, वीडियो दिख नहीं रहा है। बट
But
एनीवे
video
द
is
क्वेश्चन
on.
हियर इज, ओह माय गॉड। ओके मैम, बट ये क्वेश्चन बस है कि हाउ और रोल ऑफ ए कोर्स करिकुलम और टीचर और स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज इम्पोर्टेंट, कि
Acha.
how they are
Okay.
important to transform a student to a researcher, or a enthusiast or a curious student to a researcher, because it needs a step alone. A university level they cannot do it, rather there should be installed from the school level. How they
Yes.
can be done?
Actually, like Ajit sir also told, schools have an environmental footprint. Definitely, they play a unique role in the protection of the environment. Now, by teaching children from lower classes that every animal, every natural things which are present surrounding us, and the people, they have the right to live, as Ajit sir mentioned, and we can instill respect and appreciation for nature among the students from the very beginning. But I would still say that with the passion also, when we are emphasizing the importance of wildlife conservation, habitat conservation, and the role played by animals, but books can introduce these concepts in a very lucid manner. So there should
Okay,
be a
crispy way.
syllabus or a chapter in SST or science or environmental education where the conservation of wildlife and its impact on nature should be taught to the children in a perfect manner. Like, see, I can give example like children at the beginning, they are reading Panchatantra by Vishnu Sharma, where all the stories are depicted in such a way that children are bound to remember the stories and they love animals only because of Panchatantra. Now, they start learning this one at very young age. They listen the stories from their grandparents and they remember. Till now, I remember the stories of Panchatantra, all the volumes of Panchatantra. Now, see, we take the students to the external world. We take the students to the area, natural way. We teach them that, see, this is a temple, and the sculptures on the temple depicts so many wilderness. So they should learn that even our heritage and culture is teaching us to preserve the wild animals and nature. So habitat conservation, or you can say wildlife conservation, these all can be done by changing the attitude or emotion, knowledge and behavior of the students. And this can be done by educators only, that too skilled educators at the primary level. Then only the passion for nature, the love for nature will be inculcated in their brains, and that can be carried forward whether they are going for a research or they are going for a job, that doesn't matter. But the thing is, the passion should continue. Our professions may vary, but here I'll say you that we need to follow 3 steps as per me. First step is awareness. We're trying to create awareness. at each and every level possible. See, you are trying to create awareness at your level. Being an educator, I am trying to create awareness at my level. So both Ajit sir and Anjan sir, they are creating awareness at their level. Basically, we can say this is a passion or love for nature. So wherever, in whichever profession we are, that doesn't matter. We need to love nature. That is the main thing. We need to love nature. And the first step is awareness, that is there, existing. And the second step is empathy, that is also there. We are trying to inculcate empathy among children. We have these two. Now we need to achieve the third one. That is the most important one. And the third one is where the knowledge and empathy is reflected in a positive action, so that the natural things can survive forever. So these two has to be combined to form a positive attitude towards nature. So my video is not, it's not visible. It's not opening. Okay, anyway.
But you try. Okay, you try later on, but it's okay,
So
ma'am. That's a very,
the hello.
yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
You speak.
ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah, I
you.
can hear you.
Hmm.
But your voice is very slow. I don't know what happened. Maybe that.
Maybe due
Okay.
to some problem. Okay, ma'am. That's a very fine thing you have told, that awareness, empathy, and the positive action should be developed into
Yes.
the student. That will be the
Yes.
actual value of education. If you really said that we are educated, that will, in this way someone can be educated, and they have to, they contribute their knowledge to the natural
Yes.
field or natural sector. Anjan sir,
Yes.
Anjan sir, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, sir. Uh,
Yes.
Ma'am, she elaborated the value of the education and all these things. Now we are coming to the research sector. Already we discussed that why the students are not getting so much involved, or they are not so much interested. Again, you told that if you are a genuine worker, if you are a genuine worker, there will be no problem for the funding. Then you can have your livelihood or your earning from this sector also. So what do you find the status of wildlife research, particularly the environmental research? Because you are into the field, you know that a genuine researcher have, genuine worker will not have any problem. But when students enter into it, they don't know whether they're genuine or not. They have a lot of questions or queries in them. So what the status of wildlife research in India? India में क्या status है, and particularly in Odisha? What the status? Whether the students mm, are that much of passionate, was a psychology or what think when they enter into a wildlife sector, or when they have been given choice, okay चलो यार अभी थोड़ा सा wildlife sector में आप research करो और अपना PhD करो. What's the psychology?
Okay. Very some of the contentious issues you have raised. I mean, I cannot straight away comment as how do we know whether the student is genuine or not. But what I meant to say is genuine in intention and genuine in attitude.
Yes.
Now, you can see at the post graduation level itself, now almost all the universities, they have, I mean, as per guidelines of UGC, I mean, as fourth semester, 6 months dissertation work, every student have to undertake dissertation work somewhere. So that is actually the stepping stone where you evaluate or where you know the student is really interested in the work he or she is carrying out, or the student is just carrying out the work just because he or she has to
Degree.
I mean accomplish
Submit a report
some of
or,
the credits, two
yes.
credit or four credit. Yes, yes, yes. So that is one criteria where you get to know. And
Hmm.
now as long as I was in research institute, what used to happen that when we get a research project, we used to have research scholars, so we never used to have the experience of interacting with much younger generation of like students with post graduation level and all. Now since last 2 years, now I am realizing my thinking is changing, is that from one pool of students you definitely always get one or two students who are always interested, they are passionate. I will not say they are passionate for wildlife research, but they are passionate for something which has a direct linkage with the course they are carrying out. I mean, they are studying, uh, and uh, and then next question is, I mean, so at the post graduation level itself, when you know that yes, there is here is the student who has got right attitude and genuine interest, I'm sure with little molding, I mean, they emerge out as a wonderful scholars. And second thing, when you talk about wildlife research in the country, and again narrowing down to Odisha, in the country, if I have to say, is yes, the concept of wildlife research in universities and I mean, having course curriculum in university department is fairly new. Few decades before only all these courses have started. Natural resource management or wildlife ecology and wildlife conservation and management and things like that, or forest ecology and management. But the I mean, research institute, various research institute, like we have the classical old. If you look at Wildlife Institute of India, had started one of the earlier programs. I mean, first programs, and ABC College at Mailadurai in Tamil Nadu. They have both had started the master's program in wildlife ecology. Subsequently, Center for Wildlife Studies at Bangalore, they did start, and then nowadays many university have started wildlife ecology program and forest ecology and things like that. Now, of late in Odisha, in Khalikot University also, we have started masters in natural resource management. Of course, before us, North Odisha University had already started this wildlife ecology program. So across the country, if you look at, it's a mixed response. It's a mixed response to this program, and the response of students who undertake this course curriculum and who try to make their career out here in this domain. Because the students who otherwise used to think of making their, basically the students who come to wildlife or natural resource field, most of them would be either from biological sciences or mostly either from botany or zoology and things like that. So they used to explore something, how best they can fit into some of the domains of plant sciences or animal sciences. Now, since they have realized their own potential, now they think that no, I will be a best fit. I will be a best fit specimen in the wildlife ecology rather than going for a plant science or a animal science. And they make themselves as an experimental specimen, because they are the one who go to field and who study plants, animals, or behavior and so on. And coming to Odisha, yes, I mean, last 2 years I have been observing how the things are going on and how students have been writing to me and interacting. I feel in the country and in Odisha as well, well, students do take admission for master's program, and then they feel that yeah, they can do wonderful research. But more or less, many students, they get themselves restricted to surveys. And to all the young students out here, I shall tell you that just having, I mean, don't take it in an offensive manner, but then this is has been my observation. Having a binocular or a telescope and a camera and a book of Indian birds or subcontinent, birds of Indian subcontinent, and going to field for bird watching
Yes.
cannot qualify to be a research. This is a scientific hobby, I would rather say. But when you want to do research, you have to do a lot more. So, I mean, any research starts with a survey, but ends with providing a solution, which solution to a actual wild problem, a problem that has been happening in nature. But our students feel that we go to field and do a survey, make a checklist of plants, animals, or butterflies, or birds, or mammals. That is not research. That is inventory. That is required.
That's
I don't say that that is not required. That is highly essential. But that is highly
that's not the
essential.
end
But
of
then
that's
that is
not
the
end
stepping
of the
stone.
story.
When
Yes.
yeah, so that is
Listen.
the stepping stone. And I must say, students, that don't make your objective when you go to do research, don't make your objective that my first objective is to study the species of birds residing in the area. That cannot be your objective. That you have to anyway study, that you have to anyway survey. Your objective has to be something else. based on a hypothesis or based on a real research question. So,
Sir,
so that is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
okay, sir. The very fine thing you have told that don't restrict yourself to the surveys or data collections or anything. As we know that generally a good research work is recognized on the basis of good journal paper publication, international seminars, presentations, new data, new ideas, book publication. Okay, fine. These are the criteria of a research. Good research. Uh, okay, we give them a very fine respect at the research level. But my question is for Ajit sir. Ajit sir,
Yes, please.
uh, India is one of the 12 mega biodiversity. India is one of the 12 mega biodiversity, and according to Indian State Forest Report 2000, India State of Forest Report 2019, about 25% of India's total land area is under forest and tree cover, among which 5% of the total landmass is protected area, and that account for the 14% of the country's forest area. That means wildlife, forest, natural resources, they account a major part of the country. Being a forest manager, already we are discussing that what should be the value of a research, uh, how a researcher, wildlife researchers should develop themselves, how they will develop themselves to fit into the wilderness or wildlife requirements. So do you think that data, publications, journals, is it enough when we talk about forest management? Is it
Okay.
enough, or a researcher should bear a social responsibility to connect with the people, to help the management to finding out a solution for any of the problem, or they though that might not be included in their finding. So do you think that a researcher should move beyond the parameters of a researcher? What you find, what your observations?
Yes. First of all, I straight away come to now to the points. Okay. First up is
Because
how.
we are going short of time too. You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to complete
exactly.
within 10
Yeah, yeah.
minutes.
Within 5 minutes, within 2 minutes. Okay.
10
So,
minutes you take, no problem.
okay. See, if it is a research and if it is research for the wildlife and nature conservation, it is totally different from other fields of research. I think
Yes, definitely.
99% of the research, if you say, it will be within the four walls, and we say it's a lab research. Any value from engineering to medicine to health to philosophy to psychology to anything you go, it's a lab research. But we are putting the same thing for the wildlife researchers. So whenever a researcher comes, he has a set of mind and he has a limitation within the four walls. He is telling it is a lab research. I will go to the sanctuary. I will find out some taxonomy. I will find out some new species. I will photograph
Even
it.
Anjan sir was focusing on that thing. Don't
Yeah,
restrict
exactly.
yourself to the
But
surveys.
so, but what is actually required by the managers? If one,
That is important.
if one tusker, two tuskers, elephant tuskers, are in my whole thickly populated Soso area, Soso and Badrak border, it is thickly populated. They are in some very good orchards for last 3 months. They are menace. They are eating a lot of pineapples. They are destroying mango trees. They are eating out jackfruits. So there is man-animal conflict, but no researcher find out what can be done. No research. Not a single person from Orissa, from India. If you, I can name a very good researcher in elephant. There exists in Orissa and also in India, but nobody is coming there. In the paper, in the TV news, in everywhere it is there. Ki DFO is not doing anything. DFO is not driving the elephant to the sanctuary, and people are in a stress condition. Nobody, no researcher are coming to help it out. What should be there? What should happen? That is the first thing.
That means,
Because in the research we have a lab mindset. Lab. We should not. Entire wildlife researcher is a with the spark of the mind. He should land in the field to the situation, and he should try immediately to see how the things can go better for the wild animal, for the wildlife. If there is no other way, then he has to say they behave like a sociologist researcher to address the people, to bring the human and man animal conflict to a lower level. He has to devise the things. He has to advise the manager like me to say, "Ki, sir, do these things, these things, these things." That will at least reduce the entire scenario. So we have to be situation based. Because it is not in it is only the problem is in India. It is not in Western countries or somewhere else. If there is a
that's
problem
very true, true, true.
or wild animal, immediately researcher go and they settle the things there. They devise the wild manager. You do this, do that, and accordingly the entire management and entire logistic they arrange themselves to address the whole situation. And second thing, another feel I am saying, the way the elephants are dying. It is where it is there. Where is the lacuna? I was in World Bank Forest, in the roads. I am telling you, when a elephant was electrocuted, what is the situation? The road embankment was higher. There was a PMGSY road, Prime Minister रोजगार योजना, एक रोड था, उसको रोड भी बनाया. ये रोड में पहले एलिफेंट जा रहा था. अभी क्या क्या ये रोड को उन्होंने एम्बैंकमेंट बढ़ा दिया. क्यों बढ़ाया? इंजीनियर लोग का है स्पेसिफिकेशन, आपको बनाना है 15 फुट की एम्बैंकमेंट रोड बनाने के लिए. तो उन्होंने तो एलिफेंट की मूवमेंट उनको पता नहीं, उन्होंने बना दिया 10-15 फुट का बड़ा सा रोड एम्बैंकमेंट. आप तो आजकल देखते होंगे, यू मस्ट बी सीइंग द रोड एम्बैंकमेंट्स आर हायर. सो उसमें क्या हुआ, इलेक्ट्रिक पोल है जो 30 फीट या 30 रिड्यूस हो गया, हाइट आ गया अभी 15 फीट, क्योंकि आपका तो रोड लेवल बढ़ा दिया ऊपर. अभी एलिफेंट एक जाएगा तो उसको लगेगा वो. तो वहां पे जो रोड बनाया, जो डीपीआर किया, डिटेल प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट जिन्होंने बनाया, तो मैंने उसको पूछा, अरे यार तुम्हारा वाइल्ड लाइफ रिसर्च कहाँ गया वहां पे, एनवायरमेंट रिसर्च कहाँ है, तुम्हारा एनवायरमेंटल मिटिगेशन कहाँ है यहाँ पे? नहीं सर, हमारा तो था. तो इन्होंने क्यों नहीं दिया, यहाँ पे एलिफेंट मूवमेंट है तो इसको ये करना है, वो करना है. मैंने उनका सीवी दो मुझे, तो दे प्रोवाइड मी द सीवी एंड आई फाउंड ही इज ए जियोग्राफी specialist. He is not an wildlife specialist. So the companies, the corporate sectors, they are recruiting because we don't have a sound knowledge of all these things. अगर एक रिसर्चर, वाइल्ड लाइफ रिसर्चर वहां होता, उन्होंने बताया होता कि ये एलिफेंट मूवमेंट एरिया है सर, वहां पे हम एम्बैंकमेंट दे ही देंगे, अगर भी देंगे तो ये इलेक्ट्रिक पोल को हमको हटाना होगा. एंड ये अगर डीपीआर में हो जाता तो कंट्रैक्टर बना लेता. कंट्रैक्टर जब बना लेता, 2 साल के बाद ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं आता. दिस इज होल लिंक्ड, एंटायर थिंग इज चेंज्ड. So the researcher has to फील्ड लेवल पे आना चाहिए उनको. तो
Yes.
और फिर अगर एक बार फील्ड लेवल पे आ गया तो रिसर्च के लिए वो वास्ट सी ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स. अब देखिए, मेरा रिलोकेशन मैंने सिमलीपाल पे किया. गांव को उठाने के बाद वो जो लैंड आ गया हमारे पास, उस पे 1 साल लग गया, हमें वाइल्ड एनिमल वहां पे मिला. कौन सा एनिमल आया, कौन सा एनिमल का फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या है, वेदर इट इज ए हर्बीवोर और कार्निवोर कब आया. अगर हम एक लैंड को कोर एरिया में, इफ वी फाइंड ए पर्टिकुलर लैंड एंड वी मेक इट फ्री फ्रॉम ह्यूमन इंटरफेरेंस, कितना साल लगता है वहां पे नेचर अपने काम करने के लिए। आई से यू, नेचर ऐसा एक चीज है, उसको आप अगर स्पेस दे दे, उसके साथ छेड़छाड़ ना करे, वो 2-3 साल में तो खुद ब खुद आ जाए। तो ये जो रिसर्च होना चाहिए, ये हमको
Sir,
करना है।
we are going short of time because
या
already
श्योर
many
श्योर
questions are there. We have to
श्योर
discuss,
श्योर श्योर
uh, but we must. Oh my, just 1 second. We are having Soumya Ranjan Mishra. He's having some question that research in
या
the field of environmental science and engineering has wide scope in academic as well as industrial research areas. The mindset of jumping to job after immediate completion of masters need to be changed. Post-MSc scopes must be explored to know the actual and real implementation areas. I think future research scopes and opportunities should be clearly taught to students at master level to change the mindset. Thank you, Soumya. We are discussing on this point that how a researcher uh, should themselves, they, they must elaborate themselves. They must have a clear-cut mindset exactly what they are going to do, and what they should do, or what they should do. So, what the next? I think we are having lots of mm,
क्वेश्चंस, वी हैव लॉट ऑफ
yeah, lots
क्वेश्चंस।
of questions,
आई वाज गोइंग,
and lots of comments are there. Pradeep
yes,
Mishra.
another, yeah, another is coming as
Hmm.
a CFR, community forest
Yeah.
rights, you know. Community
Yeah.
forest right is a very important task. I tell you one thing,
Hmm.
छोटा सा मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस में बताता हूँ कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट्स में, then I will talk about the Soumya's query. So community forest right is coming, it is a concept under the forest right act. Okay, जब हमने सिमिलीपाल की कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट को डील करने के लिए आया, तो कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट में जो कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट के पास है, जो हैबिटेशन कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट के पास है, उसको राइट मिलना चाहिए या बालेश्वर लोगों को भी मिलना चाहिए? ये दिस इज ए बिग क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि बालेश्वर लोग भी तो वहां से पानी, सिमिलीपाल से जो नदियां आता है उसका पानी बालेश्वर लोग पीते हैं, मयूरभंज लोग पीते हैं, कौंजर लोग पीते हैं, सब यूज करते हैं उसका रिसोर्स को। तो द होल प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी आर नॉट डिफाइनिंग व्हिच कम्युनिटी शुड गेट द फॉरेस्ट राइट ऑफ सिमिलीपाल। एंड जब हमने कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट की, हमने पढ़ा कि उनका मैनेजमेंट क्या क्या होना चाहिए, आपका क्या क्या करना चाहिए, तो उनका पहला था कि हम इतना साल लीव्स लाएंगे, हम इतना मोहा फ्लावर्स लाएंगे, हम इतना एनटीए पीस कलेक्ट करेंगे, ये हमारा राइट है। दिस इज नॉट सीएफआर। सीएफआर आप अगर फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट में देखेंगे, ये पूरा 99.99% है कि आपको जो जंगल आप कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट में मिलना चाहिए, उसको आप कंजर्व करना चाहिए, आपको उसको प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहिए। लेकिन वहां तो फायर होता है, एवरी ईयर फायर होता है, आग लगता है, एवरी टाइम एवरी डे वहां पे जाके लकड़ी लाते हैं, एवरी ईयर वहां पे हंटिंग होता है। आप बोलेंगे कि हम कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट चाहिए वो एरिया के ऊपर, ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सिचुएशन में आ जाए। जब हम उसको ग्राम पंचायत में डालते हैं, जब हम डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल में चाहते हैं कि ये कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट ये ग्राम पंचायत को दे दे, ग्राम पंचायत बोलते हैं अरे वो जंगल तो हमारी भी है, हम उनको क्यों दे? ये दिस इज a conflicting situation we are arising. So for that reason, a lot of community forest right is not settled in Odisha. That is the whole problem. Second thing, सोम्या जो बोला कि रिसर्च के बारे में, वो एक्चुअली वैलिडली बोला। जितना रिसर्च जितना हमारा प्रीमियर इंस्टीट्यूट है, लाइक नॉर्दर्न यूनिवर्सिटी, उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी, और जहाँ पे की वाइल्ड लाइफ की है, एनवायरमेंट की है, खलीकोट यूनिवर्सिटी जिसमें है, वो लोग ये जो रिसर्च उसको फाइंड आउट करिए, एंड उनका जो स्टूडेंट्स है, उनका जो एमएससी है, एमपी, पीएचडी स्कॉलर्स है, उनको भेजे वहां पे, दे लेट देम अटैच टू द डिविजन्स कि भाई जाओ तुम 6 महीने काम करो वहां पे, देन ओनली वी कैन ग्रो एंड आवर रिसर्च कैन ग्रो। हमने कभी नहीं देखा।
Okay.
मैं सिमिलीपाल में 3 साल काम किया, नॉर्थ यूनिवर्सिटी का कोई लड़का मेरे पास नहीं आया सर मेरा आपका जो ये प्रॉब्लम है मैं हेल्प कर दूं. So that is, I find there is a very big gap somewhere.
Okay. Some lacuna is there, and we have to find out the gap. We have to bridge the gap between the research, management, and everything. Next question, please. Ajit sir, this is for you. Actually, Ajit sir. Okay, next question. When sir will be coming, we'll be
Yes,
having the
yes,
next
yes, yes.
question. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
it is.
This is for
हाँ,
you.
अच्छा, फॉरेस्ट डाइवर्सन अभी सिचुएशन क्या हुआ है इन इंडिया. लॉट ऑफ कोल ऑक्शंस आर गोइंग ऑन. ओके, कोल ऑक्शंस हो गया है, कोल ब्लॉक्स आर ओपन, वहां से बहुत सारे फॉरेस्ट प्रपोजल आएगा. फॉरेस्ट में है ये कोल ब्लॉक. आई टेल यू, आज का दिन में 130 140 करोड़ के लोगों की जो नेशन है, वहां का जो लीडर है उसको पहले सोचेगा कि कैसे खाना दे मेरे अपने लोगों को. ये तो होना ही था, होना ही है. बीइंग फॉरेस्ट ऑफिसर, बीइंग एनवायरमेंट, ये एनीथिंग आपको करना है. ये कोई नहीं सुनेगा आपको. आप मेरा घर में अगर आज बिजली गड़ गया ना, आई विल फास्ट रिएक्ट. लेकिन इसके बाद अगर हम 100 हेक्टर की कोल ब्लॉक दे रहे हैं या 1000 हेक्टर की कोल ब्लॉक दे रहे हैं, 1000 हेक्टर की जो जंगल है जहां पे लोग हैं उनको तो खाली कर दे. ब्लॉक से जो माइनर है उनको बोल देने से 50 करोड़ दे देंगे, वहां से जितने आदमी हैं वहां को निकाल के अच्छा जिंदगी दे देंगे वो बाहर. तो हमको 1000 हेक्टर की एंटायर फॉरेस्ट एरिया मिल गया ना. तो हमको ये लाइट में सोचना है, ये नहीं कि हमको डेवलपमेंट नहीं चाहिए. हमको चाहिए 130 करोड़ लोग बचना है. तो अभी द प्रिंसिपल इज दैट कि गवर्नमेंट जो डिसीजन में ले रहा है वो जा रहा है, ठीक है. We cannot stop the government decisions, but the whole thing is that उसको मिटिगेट करने के लिए जो रिसर्च चाहिए, जो एजुकेशन चाहिए, हमको फुल दिल लगा के करना है. कोई गवर्नमेंट में नहीं बना के. The whole problem is that the problem is that कौन करेगा ये सब. डीएफओ को बताओ, सब फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट ही करो. नहीं, ये नहीं होता है. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. आपको इंजीनियर लोगों को आप पहले पढ़ाना चाहिए. एजुकेशन, यू डोंट एजुकेट दिस चिल्ड्रेन, यू एजुकेट द इंजीनियर्स. आप उनको पढ़ाओ कि एक रास्ता करने से क्या क्या करना चाहिए. एक कोल ब्लॉक आप जब माइनिंग कर रहे हैं, कोल ब्लॉक जितना पृथ्वी में, जितना वर्ल्ड में जितना भी कोल ब्लॉक्स है, जितना भी माइनिंग है, वो अच्छे तरीके से करते हैं. वाइल्ड एनिमल का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है वहां. दे पुट ऑल टेक्नोलॉजी दे, दे एंटायरली मिटिगेट 90% मिटिगेट. वो चीज नहीं करते हैं बिकॉज हमारा सिचुएशन में, इंडियन सिचुएशन में, इंडियन फॉरेस्ट की सिचुएशन में जो चाहिए हमको पता है. वो फॉरेन वाला नहीं पता है. वो टेम्परेट रीजन का फॉरेस्ट है, वो क्या बताएंगे. लेकिन हम वही के उनके ऊपर ही वी आर डिपेंडिंग कि आओ तुम कुछ बताओ. वो कहां से लोग. हमारे रिसर्चर्स, दे शुड कम फॉरवर्ड, दे शुड से कि दिस शुड बी डन, दिस शुड नॉट बी डन, एंड ऐसे करो आप, ऐसे कीजिए आप. अभी 2014 से शुरू हुआ WII ने. मैं जब वर्ल्ड बैंक प्रोजेक्ट में था तो रोड के लिए कैसे ग्रीन रोड बना जाए एंड ग्रीन एंटायर रोड शुड बी वाइल्ड लाइफ कंप्लाइंट. हम अभी लाया 2018-19 में वो पेपर आया, वो बना गाइडलाइंस है. सो हमको बैठ के सब गाइडलाइंस बनाना. वेरी इजी, इट इज वेरी इजी.
तो हम लोग ये बोल सकते हैं द फ्यूचर ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ रिसर्च इज ब्राइट.
Yeah, of course it is. It is bright. Yeah, it is not.
Let the young generation.
I tell you, Gayatri, it is not any kind of this kind of project that goes through the wildlife. It is not like that. आप भुवनेश्वर में अगर इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन भी कर रहे हैं, एंटायर स्ट्रीट में अगर आप सोलर लाइट की लगा रहे हैं, तो वहां पे भी वाइल्ड लाइफ की इश्यू आ जाता है. एंड देयर इज ऑल्सो ए डिस्टेंस में देना है, क्या देना है, बर्ड्स, whether birds will be affected or not, anything. Nobody is there. Nobody is sounding it.
That means we have to address the issues of wildlife at each and every level.
Yeah. The heads of the universities, the heads of the institution, the heads of the research institution, they should directly talk to the government. कि सर आपको ये करना है तो ये भी करो. एंड ये करने के लिए आपको अगर I tell you,
byte,
road project, एक road project में if it is a 1000 crores of rupees of road project, वहां से अगर आप 1 करोड़ या 10 करोड़ खर्च करोगे तो entirely wildlife compliant हो जाएगा. But what
absolutely.
to do, nobody knows. You have to come forward.
Okay. We have to come forward. And next question, please. Rushti sir. No, I think we have Anjan sir.
Yeah, should I
How
address
can the
this
environmental
or
educate? Yes,
should I
definitely,
address this
definitely. This
or
is for
Pallavi
you.
madam to
Yes.
take it? Okay. Yeah.
School level.
So
School
it's
level
something
means
like
okay, fine. Pallavi ma'am is there? Okay,
Yes,
Pallavi
yes.
ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, within 2 minutes, please address this one.
Okay, okay.
Question.
We can see there are various ways in which we can inculcate the value system among the students. Like we can keep a bird feeder in the school. Students will observe. Birds will come. Students will enjoy. They will observe. We can organize certain events, and in those events, like in our school, we have done one Sahodaya basketball. There, throughout India, children participated, and the logo we kept was Indian roller. So there are certain things which we by which we can inculcate the values, and once the attitude, like Ajit sir told, once the attitude and love for nature is developed at the school level, then automatically it will grow. And that is the way. That means the attitude and value to be inculcated at very younger age. School level, everything can be done. Yes.
Yes. Next question. Mihir Rai. Okay. Any research undertaken with an express object of academic pursuit to the exclusion of practical aspect, justifying it suffers from the informity of dishonesty of intent, which is the undoing of research in most of the cases. So sanctity and effectiveness will be ensured only when you realize the need to walk the talk. Anjan sir. Please have the
yes,
questions on
I
the
have
screen.
been reading that question.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, a couple of things can be, the answer has to be an amalgamation of many components and many aspects to answer this question basically. Now, the whole issue is the matter of ethics and moral. Now, when we take up a research program or when we take up a research question, the ethics starts from the conceptualizing the research question, conceptualizing research question itself. Now, when some student approaches me, I always say that you try to identify the gap. So gap analysis is not, and for any student, young student, the gap analysis is something the component A has been undertaken in Baleshwar, but it is not been undertaken in Bhubaneswar, so that is the gap. But we have to make them understand that that is not the gap. Gap is something you are trying to put in your precious resources in it. And as an ethologist, I always say time is the most precious resource in the biosphere. And that is where, based on the time apportionment, only every organism and every species survives in nature. Now, the thing is, starting from designing the research question until its accomplishment, all has to be carried out with full honesty and full ethics. And I still remember my teachers, like, who had given me free hand, because they had given me one thing: you can always go and manipulate data and do whatever nonsense you want to do in the field, but at the end of the day, does your conscience support you that you carried out a good piece of research work? Will it give you a good night's sleep at the end of the day? When you come back to the field station from the sanctuary, when you come out and sleep in your field station, what will you think? Did I collect the data with all utmost honesty, or did I just did some manipulation? And I must say that conscience is the best thing a researcher can
Best guide.
withstand. And if you
Conscience
are,
is the best guide.
yeah, if you are bestowed with, yeah,
Okay.
that is the best
Next
guide. And another
best
component is the next aspect of the question is related to, with
sir,
all sanctity
sir,
and effectiveness.
Sir, we have only 3 minutes. So can we go for the
Okay,
next question?
go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, you can do
please,
this.
go ahead.
Answer this one also. already the question is there. Those are protecting, conserving, and claiming with a management plan of their village forest will get the title. I don't know. But next question, please. Next question. But there is a process by with the JV by both the department FT and RevD. Please next question, because we have very short 2 minutes and we have to finish all the questions. Wildlife research, sky is the limit. Is there any next questions? Yeah, of course, Pradeep Mishra, you are right. Sky is the limit. Bird counting, identification, tree bird can be taken at the school level. Okay, these are your suggestions. Any next question? Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, next question.
Based on all the questions,
Yes. But we are having up to 8 o'clock. Yes. Yes, sir.
okay. So based on all the questions, I have just 2 points to finally narrate that many researchers or otherwise as a citizen of the country, we feel that there have been conflict. I mean, from the questions and from the narrations by Ajit ji and all that, I feel people perceive that there is man-animal conflict. And in ethological terms, if I say, it's not conflict, it's basically interaction. Either you characterize it as a positive interaction or you characterize it as a negative interaction. And for any researcher,
Absolutely.
whoever goes to a protected area to carry out a research program, my sincere advice is to try to estimate and the resource availability in that area and provide the information to the divisional forest officer or to the concerned protected area manager. It helps them a lot. It helps them a lot.
Okay.
Resource in the sense habitat suitability, habitat availability, and all that what an organism wants to live. So probably that helps in designing many management plans and many ameliorating efforts, rather initiatives also.
Okay. Within 1 minute, please, Pallavi ma'am, first, just sum up what the message you want to give to the young generation. Uh,
The, the message
one
is
minute.
we need to develop a love for our environment, and that is the only thing. The word love can solve most of the problems, and we should have a professional ethics when we are doing research. If I am an educator, I should have my ethics, how I will inculcate the value. Sir is working in the field as a manager, Ajit sir. He has his ethics, he has already explained, and Sir Anjan sir has explained that how the researchers will go to the field and they will do the work in a genuine basis.
Okay. Anjan sir, what the message you want to give for the next generation researchers, those who want to pursue their career in this field, wildlife researchers?
Yes, my the final message is be honest, be genuine, be forthcoming, and hardworking. If you are
Very nice
genuine,
message.
if you are a good worker, you will flourish. You will flourish.
Yes,
Definitely,
in
definitely.
that way, I'm very lucky that I have been born and brought up in a remote area of Koraput, and I have got very nice researchers, or my teachers were very good. They have inculcated during school level, college level, university level, everywhere. So we
That means
should
we
play
are getting
their
fruitful.
role now. Yes.
अभी हम जो हमने सीखा था उसका फल अभी मिल रहा है हम
Yes.
सब
Now
लोगों
we
को.
have to
Okay.
return the.
We have to give back to society, to back to nature, and to back to whole those who have contributed in our development. Last, Ajit sir, what's your
Yeah,
conclusion
my
or what the message you want to give to the whole of the
I
society?
want
And
to give a simple message कि this is not the end, it is the beginning, and it is the beginning for a very good atmosphere you have created in this thing. कि हम जितने भी उड़ीसा में हैं एंड उड़ीसा का जो वाइल्ड लाइफ इश्यूज है दिस इज पायोनियरिंग एंड बहुत सारे डिस्कशन हम जो किए एंड अगेन आई रिपीट कि एजुकेशनिस्ट हिसाब से अगर पल्लवी मैडम ने अपना स्कूल का हर एक चिल्ड्रन के एक दस्खत लेके सिग्नेचर लेके अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर की भी भेज दे कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए होना चाहिए एनवायरमेंट के लिए अच्छा होगा। एंड अगर ये चाहते हैं कि लड़के लोग बच्चे लोग छोटे लोग कि ये होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए, ये पृष्टि सर जैसे लोग हैं, स्टूडेंट्स है, रिसर्चर्स है, उनका काम है कैसे ये इसको करवाना है। तो हमारे लिए जैसे मैनेजर को ये बहुत इजी हो जाएगा, because we will get entire support of people. So it is very much important because we are very much lonely, we are isolated, we are working as a lone fighters.
Uh, Education, information, awareness, research, data, management are part and parcel of each other. They all together make a very fine platform, and I hope that you will not be alone from the future. You all are there to support you, give your helping hand, give your suggestions. I hope so. Those the people or the young students, those who are listening us, they will be very enthusiastic. They will be very positive about the character. Sorry, about the passion. That yes, they're going to have a very bright future. Thank you, everyone for the wonderful talk, wonderful message, and the most wonderful message is ethics, moral, values. These are the very basic things, and we are forgetting all those things. Let's develop all those character in us, improve this bonding or a bridging. Let's bridge the gap between the education, research, and the management, and hope the wildlife to flourish and shower its blessing. Let the mother nature to flourish. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, those who are watching us in this live
Thank you,
session.
Gayatri.
Hope so. On next Saturday, we'll be having such a wonderful interaction, and it will benefit each and everyone. Thank you, everyone. Those who have given your comments, your text messages, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the panelists, all the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Gayatri. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
all the audience.